Hey gamers, welcome to another DSP video. I want to make a video reacting to DSP's Akira Toriyama tribute. Uh because man, it is something. It's something to behold. So let's just get into it. So here we go. Nice snort.
But I feel like we should just start the show with the big elephant in the room.
I feel like we should just start the show with the big elephant in the room. Okay.
The thing that literally everyone across the world is talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, is very sad news. We have lost one of the most iconic pop culture artists.
I hate how this dude talks about it. Like, dude, Akira Toriyama passed away, and he's like announcing it like a character got announced for a Street Fighter. Like, very sad news. Iconic pop. How did he word it?
The world is talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, is very sad news. We have lost one of the most iconic pop culture artists and creators.
Iconic pop culture artist. For some reason, it's pedantic or semantic, whatever. It kind of rubs me the wrong way that he focuses on him being a pop idol or like a pop culture guy. Like, Akira Toriyama was an artist, and he worked on a manga, and he was in the industry for a long time. He created so many iconic like characters, art styles, all this kind of stuff. His art style is very iconic. Like, his art style when you see it like anywhere. So I just think just saying that he's an artist is enough. Like, he's an iconic artist, whatever. But I don't think we need pop culture because I kind of, I guess what rubs me the wrong way is that it kind of implies a timely popularity or something. And it's like, this dude is an artist. He wanted to tell a story. He drew all these like crazy characters and told goofy stories. But whatever. I mean, it's all like semantic-y, pedantic-y, whatever. To be fair, so I'm not gonna necessarily say fuck that part, but it was just kind of it just rubbed me the wrong way. That's all I wanted to say. Okay.
Of our time. The man behind the character designs, artwork, and a lot of other input into series such as the original Dragon Ball and
oh my god, let's listen to this.
Of our time. The man behind the character designs, artwork, and a lot of other input into series such as the original
other input. What's other input?
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, which many people don't even realize it's the same show.
And then he does this shit. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Not a lot of people know this, but it's the same show. This dude wanted so hard to be a know-it-all over fucking Akira Toriyama. Like, dude, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm like a diehard like mega fan of Akira Toriyama. I respect the dude's art. I love Dragon Ball Z. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z and all this other stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, did he do this? And I'm gonna give you some little factoids. And the factoids he's giving is like generic stuff that a person with a functional brain can figure out. Like, it would be more impressive if he said Dragon Ball GT is a spin-off from Akira Toriyama's show that Akira Toriyama did not work on. But no, he didn't like address that at all. Or the fact that Akira Toriyama initially planned for Dragon Ball Z to shift from Goku to Gohan as the main character, but then he realized people like Goku too much and he went back to having Goku be the main character again. Which, it's a whatever thing. I ended up not really liking where he ended up with Gohan in the grand scheme of things, but that's what happened. But no, DSP doesn't probably doesn't even know that aspect of Dragon Ball Z at all, correct? Okay.
There's a time lapse between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but it's literally the same show continuing on, the same manga turned into an anime.
Dude, that's what? Hold up. Now I want to hear this again.
In Dragon Ball Z, which many people don't even realize it's the same show. There's a time lapse between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but it's literally the same show continuing on, the same manga turned into an anime.
The same manga turned into an anime. All anime, not all, but a majority of them were initially a manga, and then it was adapted into an anime. Jujutsu Kaisen, Bleach, etc., etc. I mean, I could just give you a list, but Dragon Ball was always a manga, then it became an anime. Whatever. I mean, this is another instance where he just kind of marble mouthed around what he was saying. You know, this is the issue I have with ESPN when he talks about stuff. He just kind of shortcuts what he's saying, and it's just like, why? He talks so roundabout when he doesn't need to, but then when it's something that's like, you know, like the manga is called Dragon Ball, but then he says like Dragon Ball is a manga, then Dragon Ball Z was the anime, but it's like, no, there were like two animes. There was Dragon Ball the anime and Dragon Ball Z the anime. I mean, it's the same franchise, but whatever. Okay.
Dragon Quest, the entire video game series, Chrono Trigger, Sandland, and that's just to name.
He did not know about Sandland. I don't know much about Sandland either. But I didn't go around to be like, Sandland was Akira Toriyama, did you know that? Because I didn't know, and all this stuff. But this dude is like, he didn't even know what Sandland is. And he's like, oh, do you know Sandland was Akira Toriyama? You didn't know.
A few of the projects that this man has been directly involved in creating. I'm talking about Akira Toriyama has passed away at the age of 60.
And this is the thing, we didn't get to the name until like minutes into it. And I just kind of feel if you want to honor this dude's death, I think you just say that like, oh, you know, today Akira Toriyama passed away. And that's it. But instead he wants to give you this like PR stuff. And this is what kind of made me want to do this video. This tribute to Akira Toriyama is like the most PR driven fucking tribute I have ever fucking seen. Like, dude, this doesn't even sound like you even cared. But let's get further into it. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here.
Hey, unexpectedly, people did not know that Mr. Toriyama was actually ill. Apparently, he was kind of keeping it a secret, and he was actively involved in developing many projects. And now that he's gone, a lot of people don't know what's going to happen with those projects because he was spearheading them.
No one knows. I mean, this isn't the first time someone passed away during a project of something, and it all depends on the length of the project. Like, people already said, like, oh, Dragon Quest 12 is gonna be like the last great game because you know it's in development while he was alive, but we don't know how much he had to work on it. I mean, all we saw was a title card of Dragon Quest 12. Like, how much did he work in that game? Do we know? Like, but these are questions that are going to be answered over time. But I mean, I kind of feel the project heads or whatever, the people who worked on these projects probably have an idea of what's going to happen, you know, like, because the other thing you have to understand, Akira Toriyama probably has a lot of people who worked with him that he trusts and they trust him and all this kind of stuff. So it wouldn't be a stretch for a lot of these projects to feel like we can continue because he trusted us in this and all this kind of stuff, you know. But this is like stuff that we won't know until like in time, you know, like, but why are we thinking about this? The dude passed away, and the first thing DSP says is he was working on projects we don't know what's gonna happen to them. Okay. Like, everyone I've seen on Twitter, everyone, when they talked about Akira Toriyama's death, the last thing they fucking said was, what's gonna happen with these other games? Or these other projects he's working on. It was just reminiscing about the work he did and all this other stuff. Like, there's a lot of trivia that I didn't even know, or anything that Akira did in the past. Like, he helped Tite Kubo get Bleach serialized. He created what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. It was not a Dragon Ball character I really liked. So, Young Jirobe, that guy, he made that character specifically to give a acting job for the voice actor for Krillin. I don't know, like, the circumstance for that, but he created that character so he would have a job. Like, that is really cool. How many, like, creators really do that? I would assume not many, But that's like a cool like thing to find out about Akira Toriyama. Like there was stuff I found out about him after he passed, which is like really interesting. But you go to DSP stream and it's just, what about the other products he's working on? Okay.
This is incredibly sad, but what I'd like to do, rather than focusing on the loss, you know, I want to celebrate the life and the work. Because just to give you my perspective, which is the best thing I can do to honor someone like this, right?
Dude, like, and then he's explaining how he wants to talk about it. Dude, Akira Toriyama created all these shows, worked on all these projects that someone watched it and they can form in a memory, and he's like explaining how he's gonna talk about it. Like, oh my god, like this is like lame. How he's starting this off. It's just so like, it feels obligatory. And it's like, if you're talking about someone's death and it comes off obligatory, then I don't think you should be doing it. You know what I mean?
Up in the 1980s and 90s, okay? Japanese culture did not have much effect on the United States at the time.
And then why do we care about cultural impacts at the time? Like, dude, he's talking about his experience with Dragon Ball, for example, right? Correct? Why are we talking about societal impacts and stuff? And anime was around in the 80s. A lot of stuff was influenced. There was stuff in that Japan was influenced by the States. Like, I mentioned this multiple times. I was talking about Studio Trigger, Gainax, Gurren Lagann, all this kind of stuff. The director of those shows literally said, like, they really enjoy these cartoons where they were animated by different studios. That's why a lot of like cartoons looked very poorly made or whatever, because it was never consistently made as it is now. Now we have model sheets, we have like all this stuff to keep animators like on model. Back then that wasn't the case. They just kind of churned stuff out, which is why you see all these weird errors in animation. So they wanted to have like one episode in their show, like Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, where it was completely animated by another studio. And I think they might have given them some kind of idea of what the characters look like or whatever, but the overall just say, hey, just animate however you want, whatever. That's why the fourth episode of Gurren Lagann looks the way it does, because it was a intentional decision to make it look that way. Same with like the fourth episode of Kill la Kill. Like, it's not like a coincidence that they look like that. So, and then like Panty and Stocking was completely influenced by Western cartoons, like Drawn Together, etc. So there's always been an influence. It's just that what he's saying back then is that no one was like openly discussing anime in a mainstream way. But again, if you're discussing your experience with anime, why do you care if it's mainstream or not? Unless you're like a poser, you know?
I think the biggest thing was that song, I Think I'm Turning Japanese. Remember that song?
You remember that song? Fellow kids?
So it was kind of like we were aware of Japanese culture here, but it certainly didn't have any kind of a heavy influence.
And this also wreaks a lot of my issues with DSP and Japanese culture. He talks about it like he's looking at a zoo animal or some exotic creature, and it's like, dude, these are people who are like just creating stories, and they have like a culture, obviously, and they have a style, but it's like you don't have to talk to them like they're like an animal in a zoo. But whatever. Maybe I'm inferring that from how he talks about it, but again, I've never seen anyone just talk about cultural impacts. The most I have seen is people just say like, kind of say that like Dragon Ball Z might have like been one of the factors that made people more aware of anime, and that's kind of it. But it's always like not too far from people is gushing about what they loved about watching his work or reading his work, for that matter.
On anything here, and then all of a sudden, on TV, you started seeing what was definitely syndicated shows, such as the original Dragon Ball, okay, which was on TV before Dragon Ball Z. A lot of people just didn't know what it was.
What?
It had actually been so popular in Japan that they had syndicated it and brought it over to the United States and started playing it as a very early morning cartoon around the late 80s and early 1990s. And I remember watching this show and thinking, what the hell am I watching? The art style is so different.
Oh,
from what
man, this
you would see as an American cartoon. That it blows your mind. You're like, what am I? It's so odd. The characters have this weird, almost like childlike design to them.
Childlike design. The main cast of Dragon Ball is Child Goku. Like, he was a child at in Dragon Ball, obviously. Okay. Like, unless he thinks Dragon Ball, everyone looked like Goku. All of them were the same height and everything, but they weren't. They all had different proportions. Like, come on.
Why are all of their eyes so gigantic?
Dude, no one sat there and was like, why are their eyes big? I mean, you open a comic strip, like Calvin and Hobbes or whatever, they have big eyes. But it's like, it's just an art style. Like, kids are... Like, this dude really, really, really thinks kids are brain dead or some shit. Like, it's not a stretch for a kid to understand, oh, this is an art style. Like, they're saying an animated film or a cartoon or whatever. They can understand that, oh, this is a style. Okay.
Right? That was the first time I saw a cartoon where everyone had the big, oversized anime eyes. The other funny part about it was that, definitely with the censorship, because on American TV they couldn't show the actual raw show. In the early episodes of Dragon Ball, the TV show, or the anime I should say, there's nudity.
Okay.
Goku
nudity snort.
As a kid,
Wait, listen to this. I like the way he says it.
Show the actual raw show. In the early episodes of Dragon Ball, the TV show, or the anime I should say, there's nudity. Goku as a kid full on has nudity. Full frontal nudity as a child. Now today we'd all be like, oh, but in Japan
today would be, oh. I mean, I'm gonna just say, if a cartoon showed a child's dick, I don't think that's gonna air. Call me crazy, call me a lunatic, but I don't think they're gonna show it on TV. This is just a standards and practice kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Japan, they didn't think anything of it. It was a joke. It was meant to be funny.
It's a joke. I mean, dude, it's like, it's not that deep. It's just like, yeah, he's a kid and he grew up in the he grew up in the woods. Like, I mean, what do you expect?
Who's growing up in the wilderness, so he doesn't understand that you need to wear clothes. He doesn't even understand why. He's like, why? You could just be nude. There's no big deal. All the animals are nude, so why is it a big deal for me? But that's part of the joke. And I remember
I don't whatever.
He censored it out. Like, they would show Goku with a maple leaf over his junk, and it totally wasn't in the shot. You could tell it was superimposed on it.
Wow,
it was like, what the hell?
Man.
So as a kid, imagine you're watching TV shows like G.I. Joe.
Dude, there's so many kid shows that like show characters naked, but they show their butt. Like, we can see butts. Butts is okay, unless it's a girl character. Then I think that's also censored. But, we can see butts, okay? Butts is okay. It's the genitals we draw the line at. So, I mean, come on.
Right? Thundercats, which has a heavy anime influence, by the way.
Wait, so now Thundercats had anime influence, but I thought... See, this is the other dumb shit that DSP says, that, oh, we weren't that affected by Japanese culture. Power Rangers was syndicated. Like, we were syndicating shows anyway. Like, come on.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? And then all of a sudden you turn on, it's Dragon Ball is on TV. And you're like, what is this show? It is so wild and different. Now, Dragon Ball is very slapstick, okay? It is. A lot of slapstick comedy and stuff like that. However...
Is he going to explain the infamous scene where Goku meets Bulma for the first time? If you know what happens in that scene at night, Okay?
Really, for me, the big thing that made anime so popular in the United States
what's the big thing?
Dragon Ball Z. Because up to then, like, you knew it on the fringes. You knew Dragon Ball was...
this is the thing. I think about this sometimes. Just kind of how anime got syndicated or like distributed in the States. And a lot of it is honestly thanks to Toonami. Toonami got a lot of anime that they were that they were distributing. They showed Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Tenchi Muyo, uh, Outlaw Star. Like, there's all these shows. I think even Cowboy Bebop at one point when they had the Midnight Block, whatever. Like, Toonami worked very hard to get all these shows syndicated and distributed because they, these people wanted to have these shows have a bigger reach and all this kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into making anime more like distributed, and now it's like it this is gonna be a little tangent. It's kind of depressing because back then it kind of felt like, or came off as like, a bunch of people that just like these shows that wanted to share them. I mean, I'm sure there's like a network CEO like, oh, we need more shows, do this, do that. But it seemed a little more like genuine, like passion behind these shows being distributed. So there was that. Now you have like Crunchyroll having, buying all these other studios like Funimation, Sony owning anime companies, and it's like, what's gonna happen again? Like, I mean, it's gonna be hard because it was really wild. It went from really hard to buying anime or anything in general. Like, people were forced to kind of pirate stuff in a way, to then, okay, now you can actually go to Best Buy and buy a Blu-ray or DVD of anime. Oh, now it's easily available. Oh, you can watch it here, watch it there, whatever. And now it's like we're going back to where it's hard to kind of catch, because now there's all these other streaming services that, that's Crunchyroll that people don't like, and all this other, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's making people a little concerned. To me, I don't think it's gonna like go anywhere or anything like that. I don't think it's anything hyperbolic in that kind of way. I just think we're either gonna get a smaller selection again, or it's just gonna be, what we get. It's just gonna be in a weird place, and that's why I think we're heading. We're gonna go back to a weird place with the anime. It may not be as bad as, back in the day, but it could be. Who knows? It could be a new dark age of anime for all we know. Who knows? But he thinks it's just Dragon Ball that made anime popular. I mean, Akira Toriyama worked on a lot of stuff, and Dragon Ball sure is a big like catalyst of it as well. But I did not really like how DSP kind of, at the expense of everyone else in that industry, puts them down to put Akira Toriyama up, and it's like, that to me, I feel, is very, 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 very disrespectful, and I don't even think Akira Toriyama would appreciate that kind of eulogy, because Akira Toriyama worked with a lot of people. As I said, I think I said earlier in this video, Akira Toriyama helped Tite Kubo get Bleach serialized. I remember reading somewhere that after like Tite Kubo's one of his earlier mangas got canceled or just didn't get picked up, he didn't know what he wanted to do. Akira Toriyama kind of gave him notes back, say, hey, we'll keep working on Bleach and all this kind of stuff, and then he turned in Bleach and it got serialized. And you could debate, did Akira Toriyama like kind of help him get like, spread the good word to Shonen to get that serialized, or was it just like, hey, he actually like kind of helped him, get the motivation to finish the draft of Bleach and get that serialized? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes in, because again, none of these people in this industry are competitive and like, oh, fuck that guy, oh, we want to fuck him over. A lot of these people are very collaborative with others because they're artists, and artists kind of like don't put other people down. So I don't like that he's gonna take Akira Toriyama's death and kind of make it so that he was like the sole guy to make anime popular, when there's like a lot of reasons. And I also don't think Akira Toriyama would want to be remembered as the only one to make anime like mainstream or whatever.
You knew Sailor Moon was a thing, right? I remember Sailor Moon. So popular in the United States was Dragon Ball Z, because to then, like,
again, he wanted to talk about his experience with Dragon Ball and Akira Toriyama's work, and we're talking about how popular the shows were and how other people reacted to it. DSP, you wanted to talk about your your fucking perspective.
You knew it on the fringes. You knew Dragon Ball existed. You knew Sailor Moon was
Wait, what? Fringes?
that made anime so popular in the United States was Dragon Ball Z. Because up to then, like, you knew it on the fringes. You knew Dragon Ball existed. You knew Sailor Moon was a thing, right? I remember Sailor Moon. And also there's one of all the things to put on Americanized TV, Ronin Warriors was syndicated and put on American TV in the mornings. I don't know why, but it was one of the early animes that we were able to watch here. But then when Dragon Ball Z hit, it was like a ginormous explosion of popularity. Like, all right, let me put it in perspective.
What?
Like,
let me put it into perspective. I mean, dude, what, was it as popular as Pokemon? Remember Pokemon?
Every generation seems to have something in pop culture.
And then we talk about generations and pop culture. Like, dude, you started this off saying, I want to talk about my perspective. And we're talking about pop culture. And how each generation has its thing. Dude, like, my God. People, like, people are always creating stuff. They're always creating stuff. Oh, my God.
That becomes the thing for you, right? For some generations, that's the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? And I don't just mean the movies, I mean the books.
And you know what? This dude says this shit, but then when you talk about the thing for kids today, he shits on it. He's like, oh yeah, the kids, they love Fortnite. Fortnite's fucking stupid. And oh, now they like this other thing called like I'm trying to think of another like popular thing that the kids like that he fucking shits on. Like, I'm kind of surprised he didn't shit on Steven Universe because he probably would, honestly. But like, this dude has fucking shit on all these other popular things because it's popular for the sake of it, etc., etc. And now he's like, yeah, man, there's a lot of generations that have their own thing, man. Like, dude, you shit on it all the time. And now it's like, we have to respect this because it's old. That's the thing. This fucker is Mr. Since it's older, you must automatically respect it. Like, what kind of logic is that? Okay.
Like, that's in pop culture. Oh my God, Lord of the Rings, amazing fantasy. But for some people, Dragon Ball Z is actually that thing. That, like, wow, it was...
What? And then see this, like, oh, some people are Lord of the Rings. See, then people like, Dragon Ball Z, it's that thing. It's like, he acts as if it's weird. But is it in mainstream? Why is it weird to like Dragon Ball Z? Why is he making it sound like that? God.
Cultural phenomenon, right?
It's a cultural phenomenon. Did they say that about Lord of the Rings, that it was a cultural phenomenon? Was Harry Potter a cultural phenomenon? No, but Dragon Ball Z is. Okay.
These characters were iconic. The plot lines, the themes of heroism and never giving up and always finding a way to overcome and succeed over insurmountable odds. These were all things that became synonymous.
And then he just says buzzwords. Fucking buzzwords. Like, what about fucking Dragon Ball that you like so much, Phil? He tells I'm such a big Dragon Ball Z fan. He doesn't consider Buu canon or anything. He just considers Dragon Ball Z over at the Cell Saga. He considers Dragon Ball Super a spin-off that Akira Toriyama didn't work on, which he did. Akira Toriyama worked on Super. But okay.
Worldwide culture, not just Japanese, but worldwide culture. And I remember when Dragon Ball Z started airing on TV, right? Like, everything changed. People started talking about this show all over.
Again, we are here to listen about his experience with fucking Dragon Ball. And he's explaining how other people experienced it. Fucking rad, dude.
The place, in school, in the arcades, it was the thing people talked about. And it was
like, like the way he's talking, it sounds like he was an old man even in school. Like, he would just be around and then they would talk about Dragon Ball, like, all these kids, they're Dragon Ball. Like, that's what it sounds like listening to this. Oh my God.
Because at the time, you couldn't actually get it for home use. You had to watch it on TV, and then...
Yeah, that's how everyone watched it. I watched it on TV. I waited to watch it on Toonami. Like, I did a podcast earlier today, whatever. But I mentioned this. One of the memories I had of Dragon Ball Z as a kid, I had to walk home because my dad couldn't pick me up because he was at work or something. We were playing golf, whatever. So I had to walk home. I walked home. I didn't mind it, by the way. Before anyone says I didn't mind, I enjoyed the walk. Okay. I walked home. eager to watch Dragon Ball Z. I was like, oh, it's gonna be the new episode. I think this was in the Boo saga. I don't know if it was after the Super Saiyan 3 thing or before it or whatever. But I was like excited. I ran home. I was at the door. The front door was locked. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, I need to see new Dragon Ball Z episode. Oh my god. I was like banging on the door. My brother was home, but I think he was sleeping or doing homework or some shit. But I was like freaking the fuck out. It was crazy. He opens the door. He's like, I'm here, Theo. Okay, fine. Come in. I come in, and I turn on the TV, and it was a rerun. I freaked out over a rerun, and I kind of feel bad. There's a lot of things I feel bad about what I did when I was younger. I always like kick myself for almost everything I do, and it's like, man, I made a scene, and it was for a fucking rerun. But it's like, I was really into Dragon Ball Z, especially the Buu saga. I was like, oh man, I gotta see what happens next, and I didn't want to miss it. And then it's like, oh, this is a rerun, and it didn't piss me off, but I was like, man, I got worked up for this. Oh man, like it was embarrassing. It was like a very, very embarrassing moment. But like that's how much I liked it. It was a really good show. The Buu saga really was like one of my favorite ones because it was really creepy how this enemy could just absorb characters. And I was like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Oh shit, and all this other kind of stuff, kind of crazy shit. So I was really into it. But no, we have to listen to DSP and talk about how other people experience Dragon Ball Z, because that's what normal people do.
They started selling like, the videotapes of it. I had a friend who was into competitive Street Fighter, okay? And
the other thing, I want to say this, I really like the Super Saiyan 3 transformation episode. There's so many episodes after that did other stuff, and it's like, okay, cool. But Super Saiyan 3 was the coolest one. That was my favorite transformation because it was very long, drawn out. It like went inside Goku said he saw like him as a baby turn into a big ape, and then like whatever, and then you hear King Kai saying, "No, Goku, don't do it!" And it's like, "Oh fuck, what's he doing?" And then like he had this cool Kamehameha move where he was like this, and then the ball formed, like the orb of the Kamehameha formed, and then it was like, I was like, that blew my mind. I was like, he did that. He formed the thing before that fucking exploded. It blew my mind. Like my mind was like this the whole time. It was so fucking cool. So fucking cool.
One day we all went over his house. He had a bookcase full of VHS tapes that were all recorded off of. We're like, what is that? Oh, that's my Dragon Ball Z collection. That's the whole show. And on American TV, they were still in the Frieza saga.
The whole show. What does that really mean at the time? Because I don't think in the 90s they finished the show. I don't think the Buu saga was like animated by then. It's kind of obvious DSP probably doesn't know how anime is made or how it works or anything, because a lot of times, like, the reason why a lot of these animes have filler is so that they can like kind of have the manga go ahead so they don't like outrun the manga. Because if the anime is finished, if the anime catches up to the manga, they have to wait a long time to then continue. So they try to put in filler episodes so they can always like kind of do that. Bleach had that, which I think shows a lot of changes in the anime industry and how it works now. Because like you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, there's no filler episodes because now it's like we can wait until like enough volumes are out, do a season 1, then wait again for season 2 to do something else. Like they actually wait a long period of time, which is kind of cool. You know what I mean?
So we were like, wait, what?
What?
How do you have the whole show? Oh, because it's Japanese, and this is the actual Japanese cut. I got bootlegs.
What about the manga? The manga came first, Phil.
Ordered them and had them mailed, and I have the whole thing. They're all bootleg, like recordings of the Japanese show with subtitles, but I own the whole series.
Wow.
So this guy owned it. He probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this before you could get it on a real tape that you could buy at a store.
How did he know it's hundreds of thousands of dollars? Right? Correct? Whatever. Sippy sip.
But it's just absolutely wild, the popularity that Dragon Ball Z had. And really, again, you can argue, oh yeah, but Sailor Moon was out already, and this was out, and that was out. Like someone was saying, oh, Robotech in the 80s. No, 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 no.
No, 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 no. Like, look at this dude. He's shitting on all these other, like, shows. When you don't really need to in a fucking eulogy to Akira Toriyama. Like, imagine if, like, the Dragon Ball staff, but I was like, we were the ones that were the household name of anime, and everyone loved us, and, like, yeah, Sailor Moon existed, but, you know, fuck that. We're the big dogs. Like, no. I mean, this is... And you could argue that maybe I'm being mean to Phil about this, but it's like he started this tribute as a way to like talk about his experience, and it just became more about I want to talk about how it affected society, and it's like, dude, we don't care. We want to like, what's your opinion? What's your memory of the fucking series? Like, what's your favorite episode? Did you like the Driver's Ed episode? Did you like the one where they did the fusion dance? Do you like Vegito or Gogeta? I'm a Vegito guy personally. I think Vegito's way cooler. Gogeta is okay, but Vegito, you can't go wrong with him. He's a cooler fusion of the two, obviously.
I get what you're saying. That was like, here's a wall, and I take a pick and I start to hammer a little hole into the wall. Dragon Ball was, we took a...
This is really dumb because I can make the argument that Sailor Moon was a bigger cultural impact because I had actual friends like, well, my brother and my brother's friend. Oh, my friend too. My brother and our friends were into Sailor Moon. They loved Sailor Moon. I remember watching it, and this is back when I hated it because I was like, oh, this is for girls. I don't want to watch a show for girls. And now I'm eating my words because Sailor Moon is actually pretty dope. I need to watch it again. I started watching it, then I dropped it. But, Sailor Moon. The one Sailor Moon arc I remember liking, and I think a lot of people said it sucked, was the one where they had like the mirror, and they would they were trying to find a Pegasus. The villagers were trying to find a Pegasus. I just liked that arc because it was kind of just creepy from what I remember. But I feel there were better arcs though. But whatever. I just thought that was cool because like, oh man, they're just trying to find a thing in a dream. Wow.
3 million pound drill and just plowed through the fucking wall, and the floodgates opened, right? Like, this is when Japanese culture, particularly anime, started to explode in popularity in the United States. It was Dragon Ball Z that did it, okay? And the funny part was...
And I like how he's acting matter of fact, like he has the data to back this. Oh, yes, I know, it was Dragon Ball Z. It created the fandom, man.
Games like Dragon Quest had already been popular and had prominence, but no one really knew.
But you know the reason why he's like doubling down on this is because he probably liked it and he wants his thing to be the best thing. Because DSP is DSP. I mean, obviously you can't just accept the fact that maybe like there's other stuff that's going on in the world.
That was Akira Toriyama until Dragon Ball Z got huge, and then all of a sudden people were like, wait a minute, that looks the same, because it's the same guy. He made the same character designs, same art style. That's him. You're like, wait a minute, you're playing Chrono Trigger. What the hell? Why does the art look so good in this game? It's amazing because it's Akira Toriyama. The guy's a creative genius. His art style is so unique, so recognizable, right? Whenever you would see his art, you'd be like, holy crap, that's I recognize that style.
I know that.
You know?
Art style.
And so, the funny thing is, like, people, I feel, don't even know. A lot of people might have done something that was Toriyama inspired, or he was directly had his hand in, and you don't even realize it, you know?
Huh? Wait. See, this is as I said, a major problem with DSP and his speaking skills. He just says things, and there's no, like, cohesion or cohesive, like, glue. He just says stuff, like, they don't know it's Toriyama inspired, like, what?
Don't even know. A lot of people might have done something that was Toriyama.
A lot of people might have done something
inspired, or
that Toriyama inspired.
He was directly had his hand in,
or he was directly involved in. Oh, okay. Like, dude, what? Huh?
And you don't even realize it, you know? As I was thinking about all the times in my life, all the great stuff that I've done that was Akira Toriyama inspired. So you got original Dragon Ball.
Oh, and then listen to this.
And you don't even realize it, you know? As I was thinking
His
about
brain
all the
is
times in my
cooked.
life, all the great stuff that I've done that was Akira
All the great stuff I have done that was Toriyama inspired.
Toriyama inspired.
This dude's brain is a fucking soup. It's a soup. How do you say that and not realize what you and then follow it up with Dragon Ball? You didn't work on it, Phil. Like, this dude's brain is so fucking cooked. It's so cooked. Like, what is going on? Like, is this part of the secret health crisis he was telling us about in 2017? That his brain is, like, going through atrophy? Is his brain becoming a fucking mush?
So you got original Dragon Ball Z. Of course, the later spin-offs he didn't have a hand in, but they're all from his own creations, right? Like his, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, and all of that.
Dragon Ball Super. Dude, Toriyama worked on that. Come on.
The entire Dragon Quest series, which started in the United States, it was called Dragon Warrior.
Wow.
And they tried to more
like
almost westernize it. And the art was
a lot of this
changed and everything on the box.
Okay.
Which is weird. Like you have Toriyama art and you change the art on the box to make it look like it's not Japanese, which is a really odd choice, but that's what they did. But then after a few years having like Dragon Warrior 1, 2, and 3.
You know they do that for people like him. They do that for people like Phil. Where they might be like, like this dude, he says this shit, but anytime you bring up like any anime inspired game, he fucking shits on it. Blaze Blue is Super Twink Fighter. He fucking says like very passive aggressive stuff about Guilty Gear, but now he's very scared to even say anything about Guilty Gear now. He doesn't like the chibi art style that is Japanese inspired, like Skullgirls, for example. He said, "Oh, this is chibi. I'm not a big fan of it." But this dude like gets very like awkward around anime style anything, unless it's a mainstream property he can hide behind. Because, dude, listen to him talk about Code Vein. It's an anime game. It has boobs in it. He gets so fucking terrified of any anime in general.
Actually decided to then start calling them Dragon Quest.
And then he keeps saying, "Oh, it's so weird. Japanese culture is weird. And then he's like, "Yeah, they changed the title from Dragon Quest to Dragon Warrior and try to westernize it? Yeah, for people like this guy who's like, this is too weird. This is a little weird. Okay, this is weird vibes. I'm gonna go back and play Call of Duty."
Which is really what it was called in Japan. And then you started to realize, wait, okay, this is the same guy. That's why the art in the game looks like Dragon Ball, because it's the same guy, right? And then definitely I would say Chrono Trigger.
I kind of, the thing is, Chrono Trigger is kind of a meme at this point. But I wonder how long it took him to realize Chrono Trigger was Akira Toriyama. I wonder how long it took. I wonder when he realized it, because I wonder if it was a YouTube moment,
For me, it's one of my favorite games of all time. And the art style is just so inspiring in that game to see characters that look like Toriyama characters, fighting in an RPG setting like that. So awesome. Was it also Secret of Mana? Was also inspired by? I don't want to say that and be wrong, but I feel like Secret of Mana also.
He can't look this up. He can't do any information. He found out this dude passed away and didn't want to double check. His favorite game, by the way, was inspired by Akira Toriyama or whatever. Interesting.
Inspired by the Toriyama character designs, right? I think either he directly had a hand in it or whatever. I think maybe originally, but I swear those characters, if they're not him, they look like they're influenced by him. You know what I'm saying? It's that unique Square Enix design. But then even years later, after that, he did other mangas. Like, there's a game coming out this year called Sandland.
Oh,
and you're like, what is Sandland?
What is Sandland? I mean, to be fair, I kind of feel Sandland is probably, I don't want to say a deep cut or anything like that, but I do think it's probably one of the niche stuff that Akira Toriyama put out, because obviously, like, I mean, I am probably wrong, because again, I didn't know about Sandland either. I'm not going to pretend I did, or anything like that. But like, when they showed Sandland, I was like, oh, this is like, I knew it was Akira Toriyama immediately when I saw, like, the first reveal trailer, and I was like, oh, okay. I was a little interested in it, because, I've gotten into JRPGs, obviously, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll keep that in my back pocket, and all this kind of stuff. But DSP then wants to be like, oh, did you guys know it's Akira Toriyama? Dun dun dun!
That's akira Toriyama.
And then, like, through time, I found out, oh, there was a manga of Sandland and all this stuff. So now I wonder, do I need to read the manga to get into Sandland? And I was kind of looking into that too. So maybe I'll read Sandland too.
A manga. You may not realize it, and then you see that the promo for Sandland, you're like, why does it look like Dragon Ball? Why does it look like Dragon Quest? Because it's him. It's his work. You just don't remember it. You know, you're like, what is that? One that, it's like a forgotten gem for me that most people don't talk about today.
Oh, dude, you did not know what Sandland is. Okay, we're going to be fucking petty today. Oh, yeah, he knew what Sandland was. Yeah, let's pig go. Let's go. Let's pig go to the site. Let's see. Sandland's coming out. I don't think this. Yeah, this is different. This is like time of the Xbox. Oh man.
Interested in Sandland, but I don't know anything about the story. And then any other RPGs coming out this year, people are going to be playing catch up with that. You know what I mean? I'm interested in Sandland, but I don't know anything about the storyline. I don't know about I guess it was a manga or something.
I guess it was a manga. Listen to this dude. Listen to him.
It looks interesting, but am I really going to want to play it? After having played Like a Dragon, after having played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and heading into, you know, April-ish, am I going to want to play another RPG?
Listen to this dude. And then he hits you. He hits you with this.
Like Dragon Quest, because it's him. It's his work. You just don't remember it. You know, you're like, what is that? One that, it's like a forgotten gem for me that most...
A forgotten gem. I guess he means literally it's a forgotten gem because the dude literally said he doesn't know anything about it.
Interesting, but am I really going to want to play it? After having played Like a... I'm interested in Sandland, but I don't know anything about the storyline. I don't know about I guess it was a manga or something.
I guess it was a manga. Man, he forgot so hard he guessed it was a manga. Oh, man. So cool. This dude is a huge fan.
People don't talk about today is Blue Dragon.
Oh, wait. See, okay, let's rewind this again. This dude is a fucking pain to listen to. You have to, like, listen to him multiple times sometimes. Like, it is, like, insane. Because he will be redundant for menial, nonsensical, stupid shit, but then he'll just fucking fart out a sentence that makes no earthly sense. And you'll have to be like, wait, huh? Like, it's really like reading a Jade message. Or like these people who like make one typo, but this dude is a fucking sentence of typos. A fucking essay of typos.
And you're like, what is Sandland? That's a Akira Toriyama manga. You may not realize it, and then you see that the promo for Sandland, you're like, why does it look like Dragon Ball? Why does it look like Dragon Quest? Because it's him. It's his work. You just don't remember it. You know, you're like, what is that? One that, it's like a forgotten gem for me.
See, like, there was also, it says, like, one that was, so this is a different subject. Completely. A different title. So he did shift. He didn't say that was the forgotten gem. Again, you had to listen to listen to like the between words.
Sandland, you're like, why does it look like Dragon Ball? Why does it look like Dragon Quest? Because it's him. It's his work. You just don't remember it. You know, you're like, what is that? One that, it's like a forgotten gem.
What is that?
For me that most people don't talk about today is Blue Dragon. Anyone remember that game? That was a game during the time of Mistwalker Studios, where Toriyama, Nobuo Uematsu, and other former like Square Enix Final Fantasy game devs teamed up to make a few games, and Blue Dragon was one of them. And everything in that game is Toriyama inspired. Every character is drawn by him and created by him, all of it.
Okay.
And it's great. I love that game. Like, I played it when it was new. Then I played it years later as a YouTuber. It was in my early days of direct capture, I believe. Like 2014, 2015, I played it. So, You know, that's an amazing game. I would love
So,
to
I
go
mean,
back and play it again.
I mean, crow a little bit on that, but again, it also does prove my point. This dude is a word salad, a word soup.
Someday, because it's such a great game. Great music, too. Great, unique soundtrack there.
Oh, yeah, great soundtrack, man.
Anyway, the point I'm making here is it's rare, all right, in our time to say that someone is so influential.
Oh, man, so rare. This dude does not give a fuck about anything in any industry. Like, dude, in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, there's a fucking fight scene that is heavily inspired by a Gurren Lagann fight scene. Like, Gurren Lagann is one of the biggest, like, animes. Well, not biggest, that's being too kind, I guess. But, like, you know, there's all these other animes and other stuff that's influencing each other. This dude just doesn't care because he doesn't care. Like, oh, my God, he only cares about Toriyama because he's a marketable name for him. And it's so disgusting. That, like, I'm sure he generally liked Toriyama's work and all this stuff, like, you know, what he grew up with and all this other stuff. Like, I'm not gonna question that. But the thing is, it's like, you start this, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. You start this fucking video thinking, oh, he's gonna talk about his experience, and it's just nothing about his fucking experience. The most we got is, he liked Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon go brr.
So many people. We would probably be very hard pressed today to sit down and say, I have never been influenced by Akira Toriyama. It's a very rare statement to make. You've probably watched, played, or been involved with something that was Toriyama inspired or created over the course of your life. Some of us way more than others. Like I said, Dragon Ball Z was humongous in the 90s. I watched the show every time religiously when a new episode aired on TV. I was totally into the lore of it, and my friends were so into it. And over the years, I've played so many video games that were Toriyama inspired as well as a YouTuber.
But
right?
why haven't we talked about your favorite episodes? Or like, oh, I like this episode or whatever. Like, this dude is so fucking lame.
And it's amazing the reach he had and how many people's lives he touched just with his creativity and his talent, right? Another thing, let's be honest, the fact that the guy's not problematic, right? It's not like, oh, it's one of those guys where you love his work.
Oh my God, and then he's like, he's not problematic. Like, it's like, dude, like, come on. Come on. And this is a dude that is like, you should separate the art from the artist. And all this other stuff. Like, I mean, whatever. Like, come on. You're talking about Akira Toriyama, and that's what he goes to. What about your experience with him? It's like, thank God I can say I love him, and I don't have to like look over my shoulder and say, guys, I like him, but I don't like this other thing he did and said. Okay, yo, like he doesn't have to be afraid to like Akira Toriyama. Like he doesn't have to worry about there being a Hogwarts Legacy style situation with Akira Toriyama. Like, dude, come on, just talk about the fucking show you grew up with.
The guy was well loved. He was actively involved in so many different projects because he's such an
like what? Like what? Oh my God.
Creative mind, and someone like that, that's someone who's not replaceable. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna step in and be like,
God damn, yeah. I hope people don't aren't replaceable. But this dude talks like as if they are. This dude talks about all these works as if it's a product to be consumed. Oh, well, these people, they make so many JRPGs and they need to, like, space it out. But you can't replace these guys, man. Okay.
Toriyama, no. He is one of a kind. And it's amazing what he's done. And his legacy will live on. Sad that we lost him. But at the same time, man, the awesome influence he's had on humanity, right?
This dude, it's so frustrating that like I have seen so many people discuss about their experience watching Dragon Ball, or just how much they like the artwork, or people saying, hey, I got into art because of Akira Toriyama's work. His work really inspired me to do this or do that. All these like cool little things to read about. You go to him and it's just, anyone could say this. Anyone can say this to you about anyone. It's so tasteless. Not like, oh, it's in bad taste or anything. It's literally just like, you just feed it to ChatGPT. say something about this person. Oh, this person is cool and touch lives. Like, this dude talks as if he's a fucking AI. Just fucking trash. Just the most basic, bare minimum anything. And this dude was like, I'm gonna do a Akira Toriyama tribute, and offered nothing of interest, of any personal insight on his enjoyment of anything from Akira Toriyama. Didn't talk about, oh, my favorite episode of this. Oh, I really like this episode, or anything at all. Like, dude, I drew a lot of Goku back in the day. I drew Goku, I drew Vegeta. I love Vegito, drawing him a lot. Like, I liked all this stuff. I like the gi that Goku was in. I was like, oh, this is a cool fucking outfit. I liked his hair. His hair was really rad. All this other stuff. Like, and this dude, it's just, he was a cool guy, and he made shows that people loved. Wow, what a great tribute. Just like a fucking dime a dozen, right? Correct?
As a whole, the creative wonder, the sense of adventure in everything that he ever created is incredible.
You could say this about anything. The sense of adventure. This is why, like, you start seeing, like, a lot of videos just dunk on the sentiment of, you really feel like Spider-Man in Spider-Man reviews. Because it's like, yeah, like, it's Spider-Man. You're talking about an adventure series, and yeah, I kind of hope you feel like you go on an adventure, right?
Unique. And, you know, for me...
What's unique? Oh, it's because they have big eyes? Wow, it's so unique.
Growing up, seeing his influence around...
Like, this dude, really, he claims he played all these Dragon Ball games and all his other stuff, but you listen to this, he sounds like he'd never seen a Dragon Ball before. He does those, anime has big eyes. Yeah, so say that. I'll bring that up. And they did have nudity, and they had a maple leaf. Okay, I'll bring that up. Yeah. Like, this is just stuff that anyone could say. Like, my mom could probably say the same thing about Dragon Ball.
For me, he was the reason why Japanese culture and anime crossed over to the West in the way that it did. If it wasn't for Toriyama, you never would have seen anime explode in popularity and have this kind of culture crossover like we've had in the last 20 to 30 years. It was kind of there before, but it was the Dragon Ball stuff that, boom, broke the walls down, right?
But you could say that Pokemon did that. Because, like, were there any news stories about Dragon Ball Z, like, causing, like, kids to go crazy to buy stuff? I mean, that was Pokemon. I mean, I'm sure Dragon Ball Z had its share, probably. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't watching the news when I was a kid or anything, but, I mean, there was a South Park episode making fun of Chin Pokemon. You know what I mean?
So to Mr. Toriyama, thank you for everything. Rest in peace.
And then he ends it with this. Thank you, baby. Like, this is the most Chris Chan tier fucking tribute I have seen. And this dude is like 40-something years old. And according to, like, what we know of him, he's not autistic. But man, he sure flies a little too close, you know what I mean?
But it was the Dragon Ball stuff that, boom, broke the walls down, right? So to Mr. Toriyama, thank you for everything. Rest in peace. And, your legacy will live on. There you go. That's the best I can do, anyway. So.
Yeah, that is the best you can do. I agree with that.
All right.
And then what did
pretty sad.
What's after? Pretty sad. Okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. He should have just left it at just saying thank you for everything, I guess. It is what it is. That is like a fucking comedy moment. That's like, oh, like, man, that's like an Arrested Development scene. It is what it is, man.
Now there's this other game, Sandland, coming out this year, and I think a lot of
wait, no, we can't just stop by saying thank you for everything. No, we can't stop there. That's a little too, like, generic. We gotta go DSP mode.
People kind of had their eyes on it, but we're like, nah, I don't know if I'm interested.
How many people said, meh? I guess I did, because I said I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but it's like, you know, I was probably gonna get it, honestly, because it looked kind of cool.
Or not, you know, a lot of people. Sandland isn't like the most popular manga that Toriyama's done, but now that he's passed away, how much do you want to bet people are going to be all over that game now and be like, oh, wow, basically like the final Toriyama game to be made.
The final Toriyama game. Again, does he not know that he worked on Dragon Quest 12? Oh, whatever. Okay.
Because now he's gone.
Or the Dragon Ball Daima. I only saw like one news story about that Dragon Ball movie that's coming out. Maybe two. I don't remember much of it, but it's like Daida, dolls, whatever.
But at the same time, guess what?
Guess what?
It's an RPG. Oh, no.
So this is what caused a lot of people to give him flack, because I think later that day someone came on his night stream and said, Phil, you're being very disrespectful to Akira Toriyama. And he's like, oh, what are you talking about? But it was this. Because again, if there's all these RPGs, you could just say Sand's coming out and it's an RPG. Like that's it. Like, dude, but he had to like rub it in as if it's a bad thing. Now, honestly, I think it's great it's an RPG, because do we really need another arena fighter? Okay.
Another RPG? It's like, oh.
Yeah, Akira Toriyama really should have thought about when that game was coming out, correct? Whatever, okay.
Oh, come on, man. Like, really? Because when would I like to play it? Yes. But another
he's just gonna wait till the summer, then it's gonna oh man, it's gonna be Chrono Trigger 2.0 with him. Like, dude, this dude was so obnoxious last year. Like, I kind of am somewhat tempted to find all the little segments where he bragged about, so I played an RPG in the summer, you guys really loved it, you guys loved RPGs, oh yeah, RPG summer, chill summer fun, blah 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 blah. And then like he gets an RPG and he's like, oh no, and then he's gonna play Sandland probably in the summer, and then it's gonna get a whale to carry the game, and he's gonna say, "You guys really love Sandland, man. You guys loved RPGs. You guys like." There were even moments where he'd say he was doing better playing RPGs, and now it's like, "Oh no."
Right now, I have to cut back on the RPGs. I have way too many going on. I need to finish up the ones that I'm playing, before I move on to more. You know what I'm saying? So,
and is Sandland coming out that soon? I really did not know Sandland got a release date. I thought it was like either a year, but But did they say it's coming out in April? That's kind of it's coming up. Holy shit!
Really? Anyway.
All right.
So
what a great way to end that segment. Correct.
Let's move on. Let's briefly talk about my schedule. We have some game news to cover today.
All right. What time is it? 11:41. Do I want to like cover this? The only thing I'm debating is that there's a lot I want to talk about, and I didn't really screen this to know what I wanted to talk about. Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead and see what we hear. Let's see what he says. By the way, he changed his audio setting, and I hate it. I hate what he did. Whoever fucking held his hand to do this, man, like, it is so distracting because the mic is in a weird spot. There's all this weird stuff, and I'm not no audio expert. I'm not gonna pretend that I am, but I swear it's like when he's talking, it just kind of gives up. And just cuts out whatever he says sometimes. Like, and then the Q&A is even worse. It's even worse. This dude will be in complete dead silence. And honestly, like, he says this is a podcast, but it would, like, you would think something is wrong. It would just be pure silence. And it's even more horrifying that if you're watching it, it'll be in pure silence and he'll just be like this. And it'll just be like, is there a buffer? Like, it's so fucking bad. And if the audio's fucked up for this part, I'm not changing it. Maybe in the future when all his videos sound like this, I might. But So whatever it is, we're riding with it. Okay, sorry. Blame this guy. Not my fault. Nothing I could do. So it's him, man.
Orange says, I notice it muffles your laugh and the beginning of certain words when you're not speaking for a while.
Dude, this reminds me. I don't know if it was Persona or some other game. There was a game I was playing where the first like letter of a sentence would never play in the audio. It'd be like, so let's say it'd be like for the horde. It'd be or the horde. And it's like, what?
So if I'm completely silent and then all of a sudden I start talking, maybe the beginning of that first word gets muffled. Okay.
Dude, it's so bad. It's like a hard fucking silence when he just stops talking. It's so like that. It's like if someone took a feather and like grazed your ear with it.
Interesting.
Oh god. Dude, this is bad. My god, there's no Mr. Moderation Man seems to have no fucking moderation with this shit. He'll change something and it'll just be bad and you'll either have to ride with it or die with it. Like, dude, this is just bad. It's like, man, you want to change and this is the type of shit he talks about. You guys for years said that I should change. I changed and now you're saying it's bad? Because, dude, his audio was annoying because you could hear the fuck and then all this other stuff. But the thing is, the funniest thing about it all is he didn't necessarily need to do a lot of these mic improvements. The only thing that this helped was the for the fans and shit, which is like, okay, fair enough, but it does everything. So it's like really bad. It's really like a monkey's paw situation. And that's how I feel all his improvements are. It's a monkey paw. Oh, you think that my sexist jokes are bad? Okay, well then I'll just do poopy jokes. Like, this dude is so fucking lame, man. Like, it's really like, I'm baking you, I'm cooking dinner for you, and I cook it with glass. And you're like, Theo, I don't like the glass. It's cutting my mouth a little bit. Can you like change it? I'm like, okay, fine. And then I cook it with I'm using a DSP tier example, poop. Blech. And then you eat it. And you're like, Theo, I don't like poop. And they're like, look, you told me to change, and I changed the recipe, and now you're telling me it's not good enough? Look, man, I'm not changing it again. You told me to change from the glass. Like, does that make any sense? Of course not. It's a stupid example, but it's the same stupidity here, where it's like, yeah, you should improve the audio. Okay, he made it nightmare nonsense land. And then it's like, okay, can you, like, change it? No. Okay, you wanted this.
As long as the burps are still for full forces, Adam, I don't think they will be. I think the burps even will be muffled. So all these years that people complain, Bill burps, it's disgusting. Why doesn't he have a mute button?
Dude. He fucking would turn to the mic and do bleh into the fucking mic all the time. He would just open his mouth. He wouldn't give a fuck. All he did was this. And you burp this way. And it's like, that's not good enough. You're 40 years old. Like, do you really need to learn how to do this? You know, like, this dude, like, I'm tempted to, like, beg someone to just ask him, what do you do when cat's around? But you know what he's gonna do? Yeah, I burp in your face all the time. And do that dumb shit. But dude, I fucking doubt he fucking sits next to cat, farts, burps, snorts in her face or any of that dumb shit around her. And it's like, and in the reality of it, he just doesn't care. Again, he drinks water, he fucking like swishes it in his mouth. He then like just all the fucking time. Like, my god, man. Oh, man.
Thinking of his chair, how unprofessional. Why do I hear all this fan noise in the
And
background?
you know what? This dude also says, no one cared about this stuff, man. Oh, yes, you guys. And now that, like, we can't hear. Oh yeah, you guys like hated this. Like, dude, don't you give a fuck about your streams? This dude says every day, I love my streams. I care so much about them. This dude mocks so many people for their fucking stream setup. And then when people are like, yeah, you know, I think the chair squeak is a little annoying. Oh yeah, look at the people. You know, people complain about the mute button, and it's like, dude, don't you give a fuck about your fucking dumbass streams?
Why is it that when he starts recording and stops recording, I hear a click constantly? It's in all
I can still hear the click, by the way. I hear the click. I hear it.
of his videos. None of that's going to happen anymore. It's literally overnight done.
That's right, because he's talking.
Okay? So, let's see what happens.
But see what he needs? He needs a fucking, like, program to do the work for him. He can't just push a button. But again, actually for him, it's no button. Because he has to, like, use the mouse because he doesn't have a stream deck. I mean, I don't know about this. I mean, this, I think I could push a button or turn a dial. But it's like, I ain't gonna do that. I mean, I have a fucking stream deck, man.
And go from there. Obviously, this sounds good, right? And that's the thing, yeah. Who needs a mute button if the noise gate is going to take care of this stuff and you can't
Who needs a mute button? Oh.
hear most of it anyway, or it's muffled, then it's not a big deal anymore, right?
And the thing that kills me, he doesn't know what these things are. He just enabled them, doesn't know what they are. He claimed he watched a video describing them or teaching him how to use it, but it's like he has no interest to learn what these things are or what they do. So if something goes wrong, there may be a chance you may figure it out.
So let's see how it goes. All right. Thank you for your feedback. Please continue to give me feedback. I would love to hear your feedback on this. If you think it's an improvement, or hey, if you have any further suggestions.
Let's skip ahead.
Well, I don't know if I like this. Okay. And I'll agree with you in that regard. Some people are going to be upset. But let me tell you what we're doing,
man.
okay? So today, it is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the daytime stream. We're in Junin, or Junon, however you say it.
Okay.
Now, called the Crow's Nest, right? That's what it's called? And so we're doing side content there, then there's side content over there. So we got all this stuff to do today. I'm going to try to go as far as I can, and maybe we can wrap up the open world region. I really hope we can. I hope we can.
Man, I love that so many people hate the side stuff he's doing, and he just doubles down on it all the time. And it's like, look, if you want to do it, that's fine. And you get to say, look, I want to do the side quest or whatever. But to me, the major problem is he's not even trying to like be engaging. Like, at least when I stream Persona 3, like, I'm probably boring too. I'm not gonna fucking pretend I'm not, but it's like I do kind of try. Is it good? I probably not, but hey, man, I'm trying. It's been tough.
World region by the end of today. By the way, thank you, Big Ocho. 5 gifted.
Okay, Big Ocho can go away.
Hag, or the people who were like survivors of the hag are trying to hunt down the hag. So we're gonna do that next, and then see where else it leads us, because there's a bunch more quests available in that region to do that we haven't even touched upon yet. So we're going to work on that.
Oh, man.
Tomorrow night, the late night stream will be Like a Dragon Infinite Well. We will continue to push forward into Chapter 8. Try to advance the story and get more of this
sounds horrifying.
While also doing all the content for Kiryu. I'm going to be honest.
He needs to add music or something. I think Devin said that earlier. And I agree. He needs something else. But the thing I'm scared of asking for that, he's probably going to have some fucking corny ass beat, like isn't that like another preschool fucking theme? Oh man,
I like.
We had it way too good with the PlayStation dashboard. Shit, we had it way too good back in the day. We didn't know how good we had it.
Chapter 8, because you go back to Japan and it's Kiryu and his own party now.
Oh man, what are we supposed to be upset about?
That's tomorrow, and then Wednesday. And here's where some people are going to be upset. We're doing exactly the same thing. It's going to be more Baldur's Gate 3 and...
Dude, remember this fucker was like, I have to alter with Baldur's Gate 3, which I don't want to know. That to me is the thing that sits in my head, because he fucking was crying about the idea of alternating with Baldur's Gate 3, and look at him now. And he also said even before that, I don't want to be known as the Baldur's Gate 3 streamer. I don't want to keep playing just that game. And look at him now. Man, it's like he just wants the money. He knows he's going to get it.
Or Like a Dragon. You might say, well, now wait a minute. Number one, what happened to Final Fantasy? Number two, why are you playing so much of the same games? Right? Number three, why are you playing so much Like a Dragon when no one comes by and supports those streams? Because I've actually heard that one. Okay? I got a comment like that today.
Dude, he tells us this every day. No, like, he called it a guilty pleasure because he knows people don't show up. Like, think about that. He called it a guilty pleasure because of that. Not only is that not the right use of the term guilty pleasure, but it's like he's saying that sentiment.
Why are you playing so much Like a Dragon? No one comes by and contributes at all to your streams when you play that game, right? All right, I'm going to just get that one out of the way right now because I don't play games for money. All right, I'm a gamer. I'm a lifelong gamer. Man. I want to.
So are you going to play Sandland? Oh, no, I can't play that game. That game, like, come on.
Delay my passion for video games in my content first. Then, after the fact, if I can...
So then why did you drop Okami? Remember when he played Okami? He did like one stream of it, and then he never went back to it. Oh, because everyone was bored. Okay, obviously. I don't know. There was a few games he fucking dropped because of support, by the way. But okay. But then when you approach that, I was just being okay. It's a business.
Make a living doing it. That's the added bonus. Yes, this very much.
It's an added bonus to make it a living, dude. This is your job, though. Oh my god.
Is my business.
Like, this mentality is like what you should have when you start. But he's in this for all these years, and it's like he doesn't think it's a little like problematic that he's going on stream and be like, guys, I need support right now. I mean, but the thing is, he says this and it's so stupid. It's actually like insulting because he tells us, and we're going to take him by his word, okay? Because we're going to be very fair with Phil on this one here, okay? Because DSP wants us to listen to him. He tells us that every stream he's aiming to get $50. Just $50. That's what he's aiming for. The Baldur's Gate 3 streams have gotten $100 minimum. So that covers 2 streams in his own little requirement of wanting $50 per stream, correct? So it kind of falls on deaf ears, in my opinion, when he's pairing Like a Dragon with Baldur's Gate 3, the moneymaker. Like, yeah, you're getting $200 pretty much and change. Like, is that the added bonus? Okay.
But not every single moment that I'm doing something am I worried about making $1 doing it. You understand?
You understand?
Like, if that were the case, literally half the games I play I would never finish. I would play them for a few streams, and once the hype dies...
Dude, he teased doing this last year. Literally go back and watch the dumbass fucking pre-stream podcast or whatever about how he couldn't afford RoboCop and Mario 64. That podcast, he was complaining, like, it's like, well, maybe I should just not beat games, man. Yeah, man, a lot of people like say I should just play games, man. But now that's a bad thing.
Down, I would just say, oh, well, sorry, go play it for yourself if you want to see the end, and I would just move on to another game. And I'm sure that there's content creators like that. How many content creators actually finished Starfield last year?
And I fucking hate this, like, this dude, okay, like, this dude's attitude is so, like, fucking negative. So negative. All the time. Are you okay? Like, every time he's talking about his fucking schedule, he's talking about his schedule, and he's like, oh, yo, did you see the other guys? Do you think they beat Starfield? Why the fuck do you care what they do? What if they don't want to beat it? What if they have better things to do? Like, this dude, like, come on.
I would bet probably half of them dropped it.
And this dude was like, he wanted to drop Final Fantasy 16. He told us he wanted to. He only kept playing it because I was near the end. This dude is so fucking disingenuous. And then he just uses it to like brag over other people that he doesn't even name or know their circumstance. But this is stuff that he hates what other people do to him. And then he's like, why do people hate me so much? And I feel every video I go on these little diatribes about this because it is so fucking weird how this dude has gotten so passive aggressively negative just randomly for no reason. And he tells us how I was so negative back in the day. Back then, oh man, I would be so mad. What is this, Phil?
Right? But I toughed through it, and I still finished it.
And then
right?
he brags out he toughed through it. He played a video game, and he toughed through it. Oh, wow. He toughed through it, man. Wow. A video game.
When I play games that I feel like I want to see what's coming in the game, or I'm excited for the game, or I like the game myself, I'm going to keep playing it. It doesn't matter if no one comes by and supports the stream. I'm just being honest. Like, I just like a game too much. I'm going to keep playing it. That's how I am.
So you like Starfield? Well, this dude said he hated it. Now he's telling us that he liked it because he saw it through to the end. So then, why was it as disappointing games? If he liked it that much to beat it, I mean, obviously he liked it, right? Correct?
Now listen, that might not be the best business decision. That might be bad business. But I'm not in this.
This is dumb. Brain dead stupid. He is doing this pairing like a dragon with a moneymaker game. Come on. I hate when he does this shit where he brags about it, but the one game that's the main game is the moneymaker game.
100% to make money. And I feel like a lot of people don't get that. They think, wow, Phil makes poor business decisions and this is why he is where he is. Well, so be it. At least I love what I do. I'm happy to come to my job every day. I have a great atmosphere with the audience.
Oh, what the fuck?
They think, wow, Phil makes poor business decisions and this is why he is where he is. Well, so be it. At least.
Where do I even begin with this? This dude literally blamed everyone under the sun for where he is business-wise.
I love what I do.
He loves what he does.
I'm happy to come to my job every day. I have a
He's
great
so
atmosphere with the audience that I get.
Does he sound happy? Again, if you're a happy person and you love your job, why are you talking about other streamers and how they do their stream? What if they're happy with how they stream? And maybe they're not doing business successful decisions either. This dude wants to LARP so badly as a baby streamer. I wish one day, no, not a year. I want a year of this, of him streaming with like 2 viewers. I just want that. I want that to happen so bad to him because there's no one who deserves the fucking like bullshit, but whatever.
It's personal
I don't know what I was gonna say.
This is fun. As opposed to the grind of always having to jump from popular game to popular game so I can keep printing $signs for my
This dude, oh man, this dude literally was like, I can't play Sandland. Oh man, people would be so burnt out. Man, I can't do this game. I can't do that game. I can't do this. I can't do this. We need the new games, man. We need the AAA releases, man. We need new releases, man. And now he's like saying, oh, I don't need new releases. This is mega cope because this is him knowing he's not going to buy Dragon's Dogma 2. He's probably going to skip Alone in the Dark. And all he got going is a collection that he's already anticipating he's gonna drop. That's all he has going right now.
Family and me, right? It's not what it's about. So,
Listen to this. Listen to that fucking sniffy snort.
The grind of always having to jump from popular game to popular game so I can keep printing $signs for my family.
Printing dollar signs.
Right? It's not what it's about. So
that, oh man. Man, he's gonna find another noise to make that's gonna be awful. Watch, he did this dumb shit, and he's gonna invent a noise that will be so obnoxious to listen to.
Oh
my god!
I hope that you guys understand that. That's why I'm still playing Like a Dragon. I love the game. We have an audience
it's like
for it that
cut
comes by
off,
and
like he's breaking up.
It doesn't make money. You're right.
You're right.
I don't care about that. Okay, now hold on, because I gotta blow my nose. It's bothering me.
Okay, so then when he's complaining about a low stream and you bring it up, he's gonna tell you, "Oh, it's a business. I need to make money. It's a business, man." This dude is so disingenuous, and it's like, really, you're gonna talk like this?
Are into, so that I can beat those games to focus on other games.
Wait, what?
Honest, okay? I need to focus a lot on certain games of which we are far into, so that I can beat those games to focus on other.
This dude just said, "Oh, I don't have to do the grind and this and that," and then he tells us he has to focus on these games to make room for other games. This dude's brain is soup. It's soup. He doesn't know what he's talking about anymore. He's so far gone.
Games. I will never make solid progress in Final Fantasy VII until we beat Baldur's Gate. It's that simple. I've had this game for a week and a half, and I'm 17 hours in. Today will be 20 hours in, right? I'm never going to beat it. The game, everyone's saying the game's like 100 hours long. How will I ever beat it? You know, I need to finish Baldur's Gate so that we can then focus on this as the major RPG.
But you're of whatever.
In my rotation,
okay.
Right? So that's the point.
Why are we rushing Baldur's Gate 3 and not Like a Dragon, by the way? Like think about this. Why is he rushing the game that makes the most money faster than the game that makes the least amount of money? Everyone was like, "Oh, he's gonna milk this game and this that," but now he wants to just rush it out, probably so that he could brag about how he's not milking it. Oh man, that's gonna be a whole new fucking segment. He's gonna start when he beats Baldur's Gate 3. So the trolls get this. I get this, guys. You gotta love this, okay? So I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 and I was getting a lot of support, correct? Okay? So I was getting a lot of support. And then, okay, I beat the game. And actually, hold on. So I played the game and everyone was like, "Oh, Phil is playing it slow so that he can milk tips." What? Are you stupid? I'm playing the game. I'm enjoying the game. I was having interactive chill fun with the chat. I wasn't milking the game. I was just enjoying it. So I beat it, right? Correct? And now they're saying I rushed the game and I should have drawn it out to milk more money. What? These are my haters. These are the critics. Oh God. I did that voice and I suddenly felt pressure in my nose. I was like, oh. I'm transforming into DST. No.
I have to push. Okay?
Project 8.
And
that's gonna be my Project 8 pitch.
That. There's gonna be a lot more.
You become a normal guy and then slowly become dark, the dark side.
So let's see how it goes. All right. So that's today and tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday I'm off from streaming.
And then when I realize
Friday's
I'm transforming, I do that.
Star Wars Battlefront Classics Collection. Okay.
Okay. Sippy sip.
I am wondering how to cover this game. I would like your opinion.
Oh,
because my first idea was, I'll just do it as Friday night.
Yeah, you give him your opinion, so then he can tell you this is what you want and why are you supporting.
Thumbs up. It's like
thumbs up.
The question.
The Wheeze laugh is so bad too. It's you just hear the beginning of it and like, it's like the meme of Critical when he does the "oh yeah baby woo," then he like vanishes. It's like that.
Is how am I covering it? And by the way, it will be all multiplayer.
Okay, yeah, we're not doing the single player. I got you.
Say play Star Wars all day.
Okay, we're still talking about Star Wars. Oh God, we're gonna get Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Oh Jasper, you're so silly. He loves getting.
Oh my God, listen to this. Listen to this.
Okay. Cool.
Ool. Ool. Ool.
Oh, Jack.
Let's see what YouTube captions
and
get.
More like a dragon to get these games done.
Dude.
Okay?
Dude. You can't do closed captions. Is it because it's still processing? I hope that's the case, because if we lose this, I'm scared for the future.
Cool. Oh, Jasper, you're so silly.
These segments are even worse now, by the way, because you can't hear Jasper like at all, and when he talks to them, it's just Ool.
We're getting rubs on the side of
He loves it. What was that? What was that, Phil? I didn't catch that.
Okay. Cool. Oh, Jasper, you're so silly. We're getting rubs on the side of
This dude's voice is so fucked up that the noise gate or whatever the fuck is canceling just in it, like his words, just cutting it out because this dude's voice is so bad.
Ted. He loves getting pet back
Ted.
here. Loves it.
Yeah, pat his ass.
Sit here on my lap all day doing this.
Man, that looked very violent, like very aggressive. Like, dude, just you don't need to spank your cat.
There you go.
Good.
Does the filter mean you won't hear Jasper anymore? You didn't hear Jasper to begin with. He never meows in here.
Oh my god, and then he does this. He doesn't meow
He literally
here.
never meows.
He never
right?
literally meows,
So,
right?
that's what I mean, like,
Doesn't
it's not gonna be
matter.
a big deal there. We want
Not a
to
big
hear him
deal.
all the time, but he never talks when he's in here. It's such a rarity. And, I mean, in the whole.
Well, now it's
What?
like 0%. It went from 1% to 0%. Pretty cool.
How many
huh?
years he's been on my streams? You've heard him meow twice.
Oh man.
Okay.
We'll never know if Jasper's being abused now. He's been silenced.
Cool.
No.
All right. So anyway, guys,
does he have an
that's the
Italian
schedule.
Wait, I want to look at his fucking color. It's like, okay, I guess it is the color. I thought it was like the color of the Italian flag. I was like, holy shit.
Okay.
Like, look at it. It looks like the Italian flag colors.
All right. So anyway, guys,
Jasper,
that's the
you're
schedule.
Italian.
And FYI,
Ugh.
1 week from Friday will be the release
Get Jasper out.
Rise of the Ronin.
Oh my
What do you think
God.
about that, Jasper? Are you gonna watch Rise of the Ronin? Are you gonna play it?
This is what we get.
Okay. Say something to the mic. Say meow.
We can't hear him, Phil.
Say meow meow. He's purring though.
Well, we can't hear it because it's the noise gate.
Yeah. So Rise of the Ronin.
So I don't believe him.
I believe.
You know, I'm not gonna believe he's purring. So I'm gonna go with Jasper hated that because Jasper did not look happy
About
at
1
all.
week from Friday, and then I don't know
Like,
about Alone in the
I've
Dark.
been
I'm on the
around
fence
cats,
about
and
it.
they're
I
happy
want
when
more
I'm
information
around.
about it. We're still waiting, and they're still not announcing anything about it. It's like, are you ever going to talk about this game? So I'm definitely interested in it.
Okay, he's interested in Alone in the Dark. Okay, sure you are.
And
Oh boy, gaming news. This is
being gone for about a year. If you remember. For news, and today's news is heavily focused on one game because it's the only news I have. Multiversus. Multiversus has returned.
this dude is such a fucking consumer for Multiversus. And get a load of this.
After being gone for about a year, if you remember the way that Multiversus worked, 2 summers ago, it released as a free-to-play early access beta.
Early.
And you could sink money into it if you wanted. But really, you didn't have to. It was just a game that was basically a platformer fighter, similar to Smash Brothers. And it featured characters that were basically all licensed by Warner's Brothers. So
Warner's
Looney Tunes
Brothers.
Scooby-Doo.
Warner's Brothers.
Adventure Time, right? The Iron Giant. Warner Brothers superheroes, for example,
And Steven
DC
Universe.
Comics, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, that kind of stuff.
Scooby-Doo versus
And
Steven
more
Universe.
and more, there's tons of these characters, and it was good. I played it, and I really liked it. I sunk a good amount of time into it. I actually got pretty good at it.
He was
right?
such a consumer.
I was playing at a
for
pretty
this.
decent level.
It
and
was
I was getting
it
lots
was
of wins.
so disgusting how this dude was like the biggest consumer for this game. Like, he was such a tryhard for fucking Multiverses. I played that game. It played like shit to me. I did not like that game at all. You know, I know some people like the game. I did not think it was that good. I'll stick with Super Smash Brothers.
And it was a really fun game to play.
Now, I like that this dude wants to play this game, right? Correct? But I thought we don't like knockoff games. Why is Multiversus not a knockoff game, but Code Vein is a knockoff game, Thymesia is a knockoff game that we don't like, and all this other stuff, but Multiversus and Pal World are cool knockoff games that the DSP would love to play.
And in fact, you know, more characters kept releasing. If you remember, Gizmo and Spike and
he kept typing playing
these
those
other,
games.
Expansion characters were being added over.
And then he
over.
complained
Like,
about
wow,
how
this
it's
game's really,
hard
really
to
good. Eventually, what ended up
grind.
happening was you guys didn't like it as much. I
No,
wanted to
no,
keep
no,
playing it.
no, 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 Phil. That's not what happened. What happened was he went out of his way to tell us, "Oh, it's such a grind now. Oh, I need to grind for all this stuff now. Ew."
But basically, the feedback I got from you was, you know, we've been there, done that. We've seen it. You know, it was cool for the first few weeks, but after a couple of months of it, it was more of the same over and over. And people were disappointed and were like, don't play it anymore. So that's actually why I stopped playing it. It wasn't because I got bored of it. It's because you guys did.
Oh man. So okay,
someone posted it continued and they kept updating it.
The
they kept adding
schedule that
characters.
DSP puts on Twitter. Final Fantasy VII is now gone. Well, actually, no. We're still debating if it's gonna be Friday night. Actually, in reality, but yeah, it's probably gonna be gone. Wait, look at this dumb shit. It's like, so it's gonna be the same thing as I said in this, where it's gonna be Baldur's Gate and Like a Dragon for 2 days straight. Very cool. And then it's gonna be Star Wars, or maybe Final Fantasy VII at night. And then Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. This dude, man. This dude. Okay. Oh, God. I don't know how that looked in the recording.
Interest kind of waned after a while, admittedly. It wasn't really being talked about as much anymore.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden,
these
the
throat
game
clears
turned off, which was pretty unprecedented. I think a lot of people were under the impression that the game...
What?
And then all of a sudden, the game turned off, which
they said it was gonna be turned off. Whatever.
Pretty unprecedented. I think a lot of people were under the impression
they said it was like early access,
that the game,
but it was really the thing that was really dumb, and why I think like Multiversus should not be applauded about its comeback is literally they took money during the early access phase. And I don't know if they ever said about, do you keep the things you bought? Because man, going
to continue to be, you know, going until it actually had a full release. Well, no, it was last year. Decided.
You know what's funny? He says this like it's unprecedented and But if this was a Nintendo game and Nintendo did this, oh, he'd be saying it's a scam. It's stupid. What a bunch of idiots. Oh, what dum-dums at Nintendo. But since it's Warner Brothers, this is cool, man.
A certain day, we're just turning it off. Come back later for, you know, more info for when we're actually going to release it when it's ready. And everyone was like, whoa, now, how's that going to affect the community? Because actually, Multiversus had a good community. 2 EVOs ago, it was one of the highest viewed games.
Yeah, you want to know why it was that EVO? I'm going to just say this. It was probably because they couldn't get Smash Brothers, because Nintendo was being Nintendo about it. So they probably did that because of that, and I don't think they'll bring it back. I don't think they're gonna have it back at Evo. I'm gonna say that.
Ginormous prize pool to promote it, of course.
Because I think they probably just want.
And the game had a great community for a while, and then to have them just turn the game off like that is unprecedented. Usually, when you have an early access fighting game or something, they'll just let it roll till it comes out.
Yeah, like Street Fighter 6, correct? Oh wait, no. Well, that's a beta. Beta and early access are different, dude.
So people were like, "What's going to happen? We don't know." And the game's essentially been completely radio silent for about a year. So people just kind of forgot about it. They moved on. They're playing other games. I mean, let's be honest: Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, not Mortal Kombat 1. No one cares about that.
He hyped up Mortal Kombat 1, but why aren't we talking about the money that people put into the game? And have they said anything about that?
Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, those games are getting ginormous amounts of attention and support, but not, you know, no one's talking about Multiversus anymore. You know?
Yeah, because you couldn't play it. This dude's like, wow, no one's talking about this game they couldn't play. Wow. No, you're telling me people didn't talk about a game that you couldn't download and you couldn't play? Wow, shocker.
And all of a sudden, a few days ago, Multiversus started posting on their Twitter again for the first time in about a year. And everyone was like, oh, really? Is Multiversus coming back? I wonder what's going to happen.
You know, it kind of bothers me. It really did bother me. They did that, and no one, like maybe one person I saw was like, "Hey, you took people's money and you know you kind of dropped the game. Like, what about that or whatever the fuck?" And it's like, but everyone's like, "Oh man, Multiversus." It's like, holy man. Did you guys forget?
Yes. So today, a big video was released by the designer Tony. He came out and he says, listen, huge update. Finally, we're ready to reveal the real game to all of you. Here's the deal. Number one, new graphical engine. They upgraded to Unreal 5. So the game is going to look better than it did when it was in the early access a couple years ago.
Wow, Unreal 5. Wow.
Number two.
Why not Unreal 6?
Gameplay tweaks. They basically made it so the game will play smoother. Cool. Number three.
Cool, man.
New characters. And the one that they've teased now is Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes is going to be in it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Number four, player versus enemy gameplay, PvE. So unlike the release before.
Okay, but did they talk about the money? What about the people who bought?
The biggest announcement that I was not expecting. It's coming out May. That are going to be PvE now, so you'll have stuff to do offline as well as online. That's cool. And the biggest announcement that I was not expecting. It's coming out May, is it 28th? So it's the very end of May, and it's still free. And everyone's like, huh? Still?
Huh?
Because the whole idea was they were probably taking it offline to add a bunch of content, and then when it came back, they were going to charge for it. But apparently, it's still free.
Huh?
Now, how's that going to work? What's their monetization model here, right? There's never been a...
Dude, are you fucking brain dead? Look at the money system they had. Did this dude selectively forget that you had to spend real money to just skip the grind and buy characters? And now he's like, how is that gonna work? Wow, this dude must have been sniffing paint.
Free-to-play fighting game. They've all had ways to make money, so how is this gonna work? I mean, let's be honest. The licensing alone is probably expensive for this game. They need to make money. So what is it? Is it going to be rife with microtransactions?
I mean, it's a Warner Brothers game. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Is it going to be, oh, it's free at launch, but then if you want any of the expansion characters, you have to buy them with money. You can't even earn them in the game. You have to buy them, right? That could be. Way I could see it is,
dude, it's fucking Warner Brothers, the greediest company. Like, dude, look what they did to fucking NetherRealm. All of their games got more and more greed incentives. Like, more and more. Mortal Kombat 9, it was like the most cheapest game they put out. And since then, it just got more and more money filled. Like, oh, give us more money.
A ton of really neat, like, microtransaction content that's optional. Like, for example, imagine if there's like 20, 30 hours.
Look at this dude. Everyone's like, oh, no more microtransactions. No more, man. Oh. And DSP is like, microtransactions. Oh, they could be neat microtransactions, guys. Really cool stuff, man. This dude is like Mr. Consumer. Mr. Corporate Consumer.
It's for each character. Or complete color swapping for the characters but you have to buy it with real money.
Man, remember when you used to buy a video game and you would just have the content? Man, crazy, right?
That could make the game a lot of money. It could. And you know what? As long as it's not a pay-to-win model.
If you're buying characters, wouldn't that be pay-to-win?
Then I'd be okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
As long as it's not pay-to-win. I don't want, pay money and now your character has buffs, or you have a different version of the character no one else can play with. I want it to be, pay money and then get like cool customizables or something. I'm okay with that.
This dude is so fucking stupid.
Just as long as it's not necessary.
This dude is like just excusing microtransactions. People like this is why we have it, because everyone is like, dude, come on, man, come on. the Ubisoft guy that was like, you need to get used to not owning your games. This is the guy that he loves. They love this guy because he will go with it. Like, not even begrudgingly. It's like one thing to be like, yeah, I know this sucks, but I want to play it or whatever. Like, it's not even that. It's like, it could be cool, guys. It could be cool. It could be cool.
And still earn the same stuff or whatever. That's another thing too, because the Street Fighter V was literally the biggest scam. And here's why.
Dude, Street Fighter 6 costumes cost way more than Street Fighter 5, and you can get more costumes in 5. Dude, Street Fighter 6 has such a drive for the battle pass and the fucking avatars. Because that's where the money is. And this dude is saying Street Fighter 5 was a scam? Oh, fuck off. Like, dude, Street Fighter 5, sure, at launch, actually, in reality, the in-game currency, you could get, they were generous with that shit. You could get enough to buy a character, like, enough. It was like the arcade edition update where they scaled it way back to the point where it's not worth it anymore. That was the problem. But it's like, but even then, it's like, okay, but at least we got costumes. Street Fighter 6, we got one costume set. And it was fucking stupid expensive. And this dude is saying Street Fighter 5, it was a scam. And mind you, I like Street Fighter 6. I'm not a hater of Street Fighter 6, but I'm not gonna pretend that Capcom was doing more greedy shit in 6 than 5. Like, come on. There was even a mode in 5. You could get a costume for free if you just play a mode.
When Street Fighter V released many years ago, they advertised it as, oh, the first fighting game ever where you won't have to pay for expansion characters. All you gotta do is play the game, and you'll earn the in-game currency, and you can unlock the expansion characters for free. The whole thing was a lie.
No, wrong. Incorrect. He said you could earn it for free, but you could also buy it. Like, they made sure to tell you that. They didn't say you could do it for free, but whatever.
You play the game
But again, this dude, like, says, oh, this is a scam. But Multiversus isn't a scam. Did they explain what happened to the money they got in early access? If I bought a character in the early access phase, do I keep the character in the real game? Do we know that?
Stop and never stop playing. You couldn't earn enough currency to buy the characters. The characters are so expensive, and the rate of earning the currency was so low that there was no way to actually
was low
do it.
at
Realistically,
arcade edition,
you had to pay for the characters at some point.
Because again, I was able to buy like what 2 characters I think with the in-game money, but whatever. Okay.
So I hope that that's not the case. That it's free, but hey, if you want any content down the road.
They did that in early access. This dude literally dropped the game because of it, and now he's like, "Oh, I don't think they're gonna do this, man."
Realistically,
okay.
You're gonna have to pay money because there's really no way to earn anything.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not gonna do that. This dude gives these corporations so much fucking slack.
There it goes. And Shuriken says he will only play the Mindy Kaling skin for Velma.
Oh man,
actually,
so
Velma was one of my better
funny.
characters. Remember that? I actually was pretty good with Velma in the game.
Does DSP know about the Mindy Kaling?
But anyway,
Velma show?
I loved the game. When it comes out in May, I want to try it again.
Whatever.
Now, I get the feeling this is going to happen. First couple weeks of playing will probably be neat. It'll be fun to jump back in and play with characters I've already used, to try new characters. But what's going to end up happening is you guys are going to be probably bored of it again. And I can't make you
I love he says this to his audience. He's kind of saying this so that they'll end up loving it, just to surprise him.
Forum fighters, you know what I mean? Like,
you guys will hate it, man.
I can't just make you like a Smash Brothers game because everyone said, "Oh, it's a Smash Brothers clone." I was like, "Well,
this dude, this fucking peon, this baby brain, stupid soup head, baby idiot." Fucking has a career of telling us how we hate knockoff games. Oh, I don't play knockoff games. And then he's like, well, you guys say that this game's a knockoff of Smash Brothers. Well, in reality, it's not because Bugs Bunny is in it.
It's not. Really what it is, it's a more basic version of Smash. It's not as complex, but it focuses more in on the core gameplay mechanics.
No, it's just trash. Okay, I mean, look, I'm sorry if you like Multiversus, and I'm being fucking negative about it. I'm sorry. Okay, it did not even feel as good as basic ass Smash Brothers 64, okay? And I kind of don't really think Smash Brothers is that deep of a game anyway. I mean, I don't know where this "oh, it's so complex" thing comes from. The way he talks about Smash Brothers, you'd think he's talking about fucking Guilty Gear. Exard.
Rather than the complexities of Smash, which has a million things all thrown in at once. It's a more simplified version, but it's very fun. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with this game. We'll have to see. All right, when it comes out, I'm excited for it. I hope that you will check it out and watch me play it. But I guess we'll have to see. Okay.
I think it's about Tekken. I want to
Good.
hear a little
So there you
Tekken
go.
rant,
And
too.
thanks for listening to my little spiel here about it.
Oh, man.
But I guess we'll be talking about it more and more as we get
I'm
closer to
glad
the
he
end
has
of
been
May.
stressful. I love hearing the.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. Cool.
That's the news for today.
Cool. Oh yeah. Oh.
What is this? We've done the wrong thing.
Wow. Cool.
The hell's that? Okay. So that's really it.
Man, his voice was cutting.
And then see what you guys want to talk about for the rest of the show.
Wow, this.
Hold on a second. I misclicked.
Oh man, please tell us about fucking Tekken.
Thank you to 672 for the.
Right?
And, building this channel back up with real memberships is going to be a daunting task. After
Oh, shut up! You don't even know how many members you have. Fucking no, shut up.
So, by the way, Evil LJSRK says,
Why didn't he do this? Didn't he tell us that that mic made it so that he could just read the mic without doing this or that?
off topic, I'm sad you're going to stop playing Tekken 8, but I understand the decision. You're nowhere near your peak. I think if you focused on learning instead of grinding, it'd be more enjoyable. That's the point. Sadly, I don't have time. I'm someone who 6 days a week, for the majority of the day, is here in this office broadcasting. And I'm broadcasting a variety of stuff. If I was an FGC
Here we go. I think this
and
is
I was
it.
just focused on
This is it.
Tekken, you're absolutely right, but I'm not. That's what a lot of these, I hate to say it, morons on the internet don't get. Especially
These morons. I hate to say it.
those who criticize me, and they're like, "Oh, you see, Phil has a scrub mentality." He says that
He probably know that video. There's a video called DSP's Scrub Mentality of Tekken. I kind of heard it in the background. I kind of want to watch it again because I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest.
there's a lot of button mashing or whatever, because there is. Because the difference between what I see and what an FGC player sees is within a certain amount of time, you can only learn so much.
But how?
Correct? Let's be honest. If I'm going to get better at Tekken 8, I would have to grind a lot. Not only playing online, but I call it, when I say grind, what I feel it's time investment.
Oh, man.
In order to finally get a payout. When you grind in an RPG, you're doing a lot of repetitive combat, leveling, but then it's going to pay out later, correct? So when I say grind, I don't mean, just online play. I mean learning, like you're suggesting. Going online, studying.
Dude, I just go online in Guilty Gear. I don't fucking study. Maybe I did, maybe a few times, but like, I just kind of fucking do whatever.
Studying. All that
I vibe.
studying. That's what
I vibe with my characters.
Okay? Because I'm a variety dude. I'm a variety streamer. I'm not an FGC streamer that's just sitting here playing fighting games all day. I don't even have an audience for it. Like, if I did those things on stream, people would absolutely hate it. They'd be like, what is this boring stuff? Go right back online and play more people and lose a million times. That's their mentality, you know? So...
Well, they just want to see you have fun playing online.
Sadly.
But this is
a situation where, like...
But it's just that he just wants to just win.
People say, oh, Phil's a scrub or whatever. No.
He is a scrub.
I'm not...
This dude was like saying, oh, I'm so glad master rank, I won't lose the rank. And that's like scrub mentality. And then he was like, dude, I'm like purple right now? I'm so close to blue? Oh, I'm purple now. I'm purple. Oh, purple. That's where all the people who know the game live. And then he said they all suck. I mean, like, because the thing is, when I watched him play Tekken, there was a Twitter discourse about ranking modes in fighting games, and they said that it's kind of like a plague. Not a plague, a curse? I don't know what the word they used. But I agree with them the more I think about it, because you do kind of lose the sense of, like, you're playing a fighting game for fun, and when you look at a rank, you kind of think that there's like a thing you want to attain. Like, it's nice to have a little badge that shows you what skill level you are, that you want to show to people, but it does make you just feel like, I guess it gives you an entitlement complex about it. And it's like, you have to kind of separate from that, and that's kind of what I learned when I play more and more Guilty Gear, because I think what I'm trying to do every time I play now is to just kind of relax, because there was a few times I got really heated and I got really worked up about, and then but it's like I need to calm down. I can't just be yelling at just nonsense, and it's like I don't know, like maybe it's me, whatever. And then I realized, well, you know what? I think it's because I just care about these stupid ass ranks, and once I like started to just say like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play to have fun, I kind of had more enjoyment back in my fighting games. And that's the problem that he has. He just wants to chase these ranks all the time. And if he can't get it, oh, he's fucking mad about it.
Not an FGC person anymore. I used to be. I used to be in that mentality. I totally get what people say when they're like, oh, the only way you're going to get better at Tekken is to go and do the replays and study those replays. And you got to go watch a bunch of these other things and everything.
I love that now when he clears the throat, he turns away when he has these stupid noise shit. But when he didn't, he made sure it was towards the mic all the time.
I can't do that. I just don't have the means and the time. I'm someone who's maintaining a life and a business. I'm not just an FGC head like they are. So I just find that funny that people will do things like criticize me and make videos and laugh at how bad it is what he says.
I love that a dude does that for his second gameplay, and oh, it's so stupid, and wow, these people are pathetic. But Diaphone does a video about him. Diaphone's so cool. Oh, I love Diaphone. But I guess it's because Diaphone didn't want to like make fun of him, and just because the thing is, like, when you watch the Diaphone video, it's very obvious, in my opinion, that he was more interested in the premise of what the video was going to be and what he wanted to do, where he wanted to kind of help other players or other people like up their game. So he uses DSP as like as an example, because you can kind of look at it as him just pretty much calling DSP a scrub in a positive way, because again, politely, because he just did that video to like. Because he says even in the video, like, look, I hope you guys, I want you guys to like submit your videos, and I can just kind of give you some pointers on how to improve your game, and that's why he did that video. It really was to like kind of like have him like show off that he can help you with your game pretty much in a way. But DSP like loved it. It was a cool video, and it's not insulting, sure, but again, Diaphone probably was more interested in like the concept of the video than like I'm gonna make fun of DSP, because Diaphone is probably like a chill guy, which is like funny to me yet again. How DSP says no one gives me a fair chance, no one likes me, and Diaphone literally like gave him a fair chance, because I mean, there's a lot of people out there that aren't like Keemstar, me, Devin, anyone or whatever, where they want to like just dog on this little baby man. But there's other people that are just like that are more interested in doing their own thing or whatever. But he always acts as if everyone's out to get him all the time. He wants to be the guy, to be the victim.
You're not understanding. I'm not you. I'm not in the FGC. This isn't my focus. This isn't even my hobby.
This dude acted like a tryhard for these fucking games. I studied in the FGC. He demands respect. This dude flip-flopped again.
This is one part of a many-faceted thing that's my business, and I have to weigh and balance what's worth investing time into. For Tekken, I reached the limit. You know what I mean? And it is unfortunate, because I love Tekken 8. I know it's a great game, and I know that if I invested enough time into character knowledge, I would be beating
I can be
all the
good at
things
games
that are
I want
spammably
to.
abusable online. That's why purple is not the highest rank. There's blue and yellow past that for people who have the knowledge and have surpassed that level.
It's funny. He says blue is master rank, and that's where we stopped. And now we just have yellow rank. He just throws it out there
because they can stop the spam. But I don't have time for that. That's why I stopped playing it. So I appreciate you saying that. I agree with you.
I agree with you.
I definitely know that if I were to focus on Tekken more and put more time into it,
I'm staying up really late for this video. Holy fuck.
I just don't see the payoff.
I just don't see the payoff.
If I were an FGC player, an FGC head who's into it, and I was going to eventually grind more content out, right? Oh, here's higher level content for everyone and people like it, and I go to tournaments and I perform. None of that's going to happen.
He
My
doesn't want
audience
to
isn't
do
for it.
that.
I'm not going to go to tournaments. I don't care. So it's like, at what point do you
So
finally
then,
cut off the
so then why do you care about your rank so much? Why not just play for fun? Why does he need to perform and invest all this time to just fuck around online?
It's like right now, this is it. Like, there's no point in continuing with Tekken because I'm never gonna get better without too much of a sacrifice of my time.
Oh, because he's not gonna get any better. He's just gonna stay in the same rank. What if that's just like the fun of it? Okay.
And it's not worth it. There won't be a rewarding, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
This dude is so fixated on reward. I think someone said like it's a form of an addiction. And it exemplifies itself so well in this, where he only cares about the reward of things. He won't do X thing because unless X gives him Z. He needs something to, like, this dude is such a fucking an animal. He's like a little dog that needs his little treat if he does something right. Oh, your cat didn't like puke on the floor. Give the cat a treat.
But I mean, it's just not. I know it. People are already bored of Tekken. The streams are getting way less people, less support. I mean, Friday Night Fights had one tip from Jax Raxer. That's literally it. No one else cared about it.
All of the Friday Night Fights are one tip. All of them. Come on.
This game for, right?
Shut up. Shut up.
Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay. On the tip side of stuff, we start today with a $10 tip.
Let's skip ahead. Let's see.
FGC.
Oh boy, more FGC talk. Man, goddamn. I thought that was it. No, DSP makes sure to say there's more, because why would he just stop?
FGC. Here's the thing.
Here's
the
thing.
FGC likes to have people they laugh at, right?
Oh.
Toxic.
Here we go. Remember what I said before, weeks ago, whatever, where he was like saying how the FGC are so sensitive. Oh, how dare you say this and that, this and that, and how they want to get rid of the toxicity in their community or whatever the fuck. Like they're very sensitive. He pretty much was saying how sensitive they are, and now they just want people to make fun of. Wow.
LTG's definitely the big one.
Yeah, that I remember now, because he was talking about how he made fun of someone in the FGC playing Street Fighter 6, and then like someone brought that up. It's like, see, just because I razz on them, I'm being disrespectful? Wow, like, they're so sensitive. The FGC is so sensitive. They're a bunch of bitches. And now they're negative and toxic.
But I'm like number 2 or number 3. All right. So what they do is they take all my content and they take it out of context, and then they say, "Oh, see, this is what Phil is." So they'll take like my Friday Night Fight stream.
And like again, if he's talking about, let's say I'm just assuming he's talking about the Tekken video of DSP scrub mentality, because he uses the word scrub mentality just randomly in this video, and then he talks about it like it's so obviously that's the video he's talking about. That's probably the video that someone submitted for DSP Reacts that he omitted, but he just assumes this dude is in the FGC, like, just because he talks about fighting games. Like, this is what I hate about this. Like, am I part of the FGC because I play Guilty Gear and I like Guilty Gear? Like, maybe honestly, I do want to enter a tournament. So, I mean, maybe I am going to become part of the FGC at that point. But, whatever. But as it is now, am I part of the FGC? No, I'm not a fucking FGC guy. I don't have any friends there. I mean, I'm trying to make friends, man. But it's like, you know what I mean? Come on.
Of Tekken 8.
But of course, no, I need to make fun of someone. Then they'll accept me. Obviously, I'll make more friends doing that. I won't. It won't look weird at all if I just meet someone in the FGC and say, "Hey guys, DSP sucks," right?
Ignore the fact that I'm playing the game at a pretty good level. That I've got.
And then look at this. He wants ass pads. Oh, I play the game at a very good level, man. Like, dude, he's saying that he says how the FGC is sensitive and all this stuff. Now they're saying that they're toxic, but now he wants to be praised for being in purple. And when I'm playing Tekken 8, when I used to, I mean, I haven't played it since. I don't really know if you could rank down, but I guess you can because you went from purple to red. I just been keep going up. It seems. I don't know, but I've been mashing. I'll be honest. I'm not great at the game.
Pretty good reads on these characters, that I've got pretty good fundamentals and stuff. And instead, they'll just focus on the fact that I fight someone and they literally spam the same move the whole round, and I freak out about it and I lose my cool. And oh, you see, that's the scrub mentality, that you just can't beat the one move.
It is the scrub mentality. Like, dude, if you're playing an opponent and you're just assuming that they're spamming or whatever the fuck, but this dude spams too. But yeah, it is kind of a scrub mentality. And the thing is, I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting to yourself that maybe it is a scrub mentality. People fall back on that sometimes all the time. It's just that if you reject it and you just act as if you never do it, that's kind of pathetic. Because, I mean, it shows a sign of growth when you accept that maybe you are a scrub sometimes.
Blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
No, it's not that. It's not that I'm saying that the game is bad. What I'm saying is the game...
The video he's talking about, I don't even think he said that DSP thinks the game is bad. He's just saying how DSP keeps blaming all these other things when it could just be him. Like, how does he know the other characters playing in bad ways or whatever the fuck? How does he know all this other stuff? Whatever.
Expecting you to study it so much that this is now.
I mean, I make assumptions too, to be honest, when I fight people in Guilty Gear sometimes. Like, I don't think Happy Chaos is that deep of a character, because all the ones I see, I just see them do this, throw the little like attract thing that makes you aim better, and then like they do the little run up jab attacks, and then they do super, and that's like kind of all I see them do. I've never seen them do anything else. Like, I can assume that's all they do. So bad guys, I've seen them just do this, and it's like, why they keep doing this? Like, why? I'm not even next to them, and they just do it.
I don't have time for that. You know? With fighting games, what it used to be was you had to have a level of execution and skill so that if you were going to get wins, you would have to actually be good. Now, you don't have to be good to even get wins in a fighting game, because everything's such low execution that you could just...
Dude, it's online. It's online. So you're playing against people who know the game and who don't know the game, and you just have to deal with it.
Smash the fucking same 2-3 moves. You don't have to think. I'm either going to do this move or this move. I'll just alternate the two. And you get wins online. And then what someone has to do is study the game to say, how do I beat those two abusable moves online? And then when they study, they can, okay, here's the situation. And by the way, there's no universal. It's not like do the one thing. Every character, it's a different answer. With Paul, you got to do this. With Yoshimitsu, you got to do this. With Nina, you got to do this. So it's like, what the hell is this? It's like, I have to have an encyclopedic knowledge of Tekken.
Oh, man,
to get past a certain level.
like,
it's not even considered a good level. And that, for me, is too much of an investment of time. Now, do you think that they put what I just said, which I've already said, into their videos about me making fun of me? No. They won't analyze it at a high level, because that...
Dude, they just analyzed it and said that, like, these are just all excuses. Like, shut up. I mean, if you feel this way about it, good for you.
Makes their narrative bad. The narrative is Phil's a buffoon. Let's make fun of him. And
now, okay, you know what? Okay, this dude who's I'm a buffoon. I don't know what I'm doing. He fucking was saying, I don't know how to play this game. Tell me how to play the game. What do you mean sidestep? What's 1-2? What's this? What's that? Tell me what to play. What's a sidestep? What do I do? I had never played this game before. And now when someone's like, yeah, this guy doesn't know how to play. This guy's saying I don't know how to play. Okay, I play the game. I know how to fucking press 1 and pick Paul. Okay, I know how to pick characters.
Laugh at him. He's a joke in the FGC. The joke's on them, because I'm not part of the FGC. I've said it 5,000 times. I'm not part of their community. So when they bring it up and they analyze it from their perspective.
Yeah, so if someone makes fun of him for being a has-been, then, oh man, wait until you see what he says. Because this dude got mad at the fucking Guile Windquote dude for teasing him about Super Turbo. He's like, the FGC is disrespecting the old guard. Oh.
It doesn't make sense. I'm not an FGC player. I haven't been in over a decade. I took myself out of that community because I didn't want to put up with their bullshit.
They're
You know?
bullshit. Fucking
Anyway,
bullshit, I tell you what.
looking tan? No, it's the lighting. It's the different backgrounds. Like if I change my...
Oh, man, we're talking about fucking lighting now.
See that?
See
Makes
that?
me look completely...
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Are we really
so
done?
I received a $10 tip.
Okay.
I forgot to read it. Let me do this now.
Oh, man, okay. Okay, we're taking really long to read.
Thank you, Sven Gunner, for the first tip of the day. $10.
Okay. Please
Entertaining.
tell
I
me.
love doing that project. I think that the retro...
Okay, retro reacts. Okay, we're done here, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully the audio was good. I mean, again, he did fucked up shit to the audio in this part, so you ride or die, right? Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And guys, it's
Time to skedaddle on out of here.
bye.